In Southall. It was the weekend of some weddings in London. This is quite a well documented story of mine, but
I was in this wedding. When I
you
got
got
married.
married. Was it Cheltenham Road?
Yes, Cheltenham Road, yeah.
Well, we were living in the hotel in Bramham Gardens in Earl's Court, and well, in those days we had a housing collective in London, which I know Fergie's trying to resurrect, but there was this guy who got hold of all these old properties that were up for redevelopment, and he'd already got hold of one in Warwick Road, and there were a load of yogis living there, and it was the first time I was going to live collectively with yogis. And the night before I moved in, he said, "Oh, I've just got hold of this big hotel, you've got to move in." So Mia and myself moved into this hotel, and we were rattling around in this hotel for a couple of weeks, just the two of us with the 20 bedrooms. And then Shri Mataji, she had to move out of her old house, and the new house in Brompton Square wasn't ready. So she said, "Oh, I'll move into the hotel." So of course, immediately the hotel filled up. But before Shri Mataji arrived, she had this weekend of weddings, and we put up all the yogis who came from abroad in this hotel. And it was the first time I experienced having to cater for a large group of people. Anyway, they all turned up on the Friday night, and we had a manic evening, sort of trying to produce a food for 40 people and sorting people out and that sort of thing. And then the next morning we got the message from Mother that all the brides were to go and stay at Cheltenham Road that day in the evening, and all the grooms were to go off to Southall to go and buy curtains and pyjamas for the wedding. So suddenly the house was empty again, and we were left in this hotel on our own, and twiddling my thumbs and wondering what I should do next, and probably drifting off into the left a bit. And suddenly the call went out, "Mother's here!" I thought, "Oh my God!" So we all rushed down into the foyer, and there, sure enough, was Mother. Not only was the Mother, but there seemed to be a load of other yogis who'd sort of suddenly come out of the woodwork, I don't know where from. Anyway, we were standing there, and Mother had come to look over where she was going to stay when she moved in, and she said, "Oh, we couldn't find my car keys anywhere, we had to come over here by taxi, and I need to go and do some shopping in Southall. Has anyone got a car?" And I was right at the back of this group of people, and I heard this voice at the front saying, "Yes, Mother, Bernard's got a car." And, well, I don't know whether you could actually call it a car. It was a rusty old Mini. You don't see them in this state these days, but it had rust in the floor. You could see the road as you were travelling along. It had plants growing along in the windows. It had no suspension. The suspension was completely shot. And I mean, it was just a complete wreck. And I was hustled to the front, and Shri Mataji said, "Oh, that'll do." I said, "Are you sure you want to go in this car, Mother?" And she said, "Yes, no problem, no problem." So we went out, and I was thinking, "Oh my goodness, it was an absolute wreck, this car." Anyway, I opened the door, Mother got in, and we drove off, and there was a sort of big, harsh farewell as we drove off up the street. And then when we got to Southall, what's the first thing we see? A big group of Saj yogis walking along the street. So Mother said, "Oh, pull over, pull over." So I pull over, and suddenly, the yogis all honked the car, and these yogis looked up and said, "Oh, who's that?" "It's Shri Mataji!" And so they all crowded round the car, and of course, it being Southall, if there's a crowd,
Yes.
a crowd gathers. So suddenly, there's this huge, great crowd of people all crowded round the car. And they're all sort of peering in, trying to see who or what's in the car. Anyway, Shri Mataji gave some instructions to the yogis to where the best place was to go and buy some kurtas and stuff. And she said, right, we've got to go off. And so we drove literally 40 yards up the road, parked the car, and got out of the car. And it was just me and Shri Mataji. And we went into this sari shop. And no crowd, just Shri Mataji, another Indian lady, walking into this sari shop. And it was, there couldn't have been more of a contrast. And the main thing afterwards, I remember we went to another sari shop, and Mother said, "I'll pull over," and it was the yellow line, and there was this bus right beside me, and I leapt out and was opening the door for Mother, and this bus stopped, and the driver started swearing his head off at me. I thought, he can't do this, I'm with the Adi Shakti. But anyway, Mother said, "Oh, you better go and park the car, So I went off and parked the car, and then on the way back, I apologised for the state of the suspension of the car, because it was very bumpy. And Mother said, "Oh, I don't feel anything. It's just like being on a cloud." And well, I certainly felt on a cloud.
Yes, I was going to ask, how did it feel driving Mother